Welcome back to the 52 Weeks to Wealth. My name is Gualter Amarelo, and we've been traveling through this journey of the 52 weeks on our way towards doubling your income and doubling your net worth. Hands to the camera if that's something you'd like to do this year. Excellent. Hands to the camera if you've been traveling with us along this wealth building journey for more than one season. Hands to the camera if you've been doing it for more than one season, 2 seasons. Is this your 3rd season? Let's where our OGs at. Awesome. Let's give our OGs a big round of applause. Alchemist Nation is designed to build wealth builders. Alchemy is the science, the magic of taking somebody who's in a state of sorrow and moving them into a state of abundance, bliss, and creativity. If you've heard somebody say, I need to get more money, I need to get rich, you might want to invite your friends to come and join us on the 52 Weeks to Wealth, because the word need comes from a place of scarcity. The word I am, those 2 words are power words. Hands to camera if you've heard those words before, you've heard that they're power words. Yes. Another powerful word or phrase is you are. Unfortunately, in society, most people who hear the words you are just take it in. They just believe it. So be careful with this magic spell that you've been given. Now, there are 52 weeks. We're in week 23. Wealth principle 23 is the power of partnerships. Last week, we talked about a couple of different principles. We didn't just talk about one. We went through and we discussed a few of the wealth principles. Hands to the camera if you were here last week for wealth principle 22. Excellent. Excellent. Who is here for wealth principle 21? Awesome. You don't know what the wealth principles are or where to find them, you can go to alchemistnation.com. Right at the top, you have the wealth principles. Wealth principle 21 was create the definiteness of your vision. And we were focusing on getting a little more clear about where we want to go in life, where we want to see and be perceived. Wealth principle 22 was the strategic partnerships, seeking out strategic partnerships and affiliates. Hands to camera if you got a lot of value from last week's and the weeks before principles. Excellent. Who has already applied some of this into their business? Who's written down some actions, applied something? Excellent. This week, wealth principle 23, the power of partnerships, takes that affiliate and strategic partnership and moves it into something a little more deep, a little more powerful, a little more commitment. Hands to camera if you know, selfishness causes poverty. Have you heard that before? Selfishness, being selfish, focus on yourself. If this is a new one, maybe I should go into that first. Excellent. Before I dive into selfishness and I share a little bit about that, let's talk about some definitions. The power. This is something that can be generated. This is something that is within. The definition of power is, or can be, the potentiality of energy. It is the ability to move another being, another force. Power is something that exists only, or is perceived only when it is used, but it is always there. Who's seen a battery before and thought nothing of it? Anybody seen a battery before? Excellent. Not a lot going on with a battery until you plug it in. And when you plug in a series of batteries, much like a Tesla, if you ever look at the Teslas underneath, their batteries are just little double A's, just a whole bunch of them all lined up together. When you line them up in parallel, you get a lot of power. And that drives a vehicle, one of the fastest vehicles on the planet. Hands to camera if you ever seen a Tesla go at full speed. Awesome. Who's been inside of a Tesla? 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Insanity. That's what power is. It's potential, but it doesn't actually have to be applied to anything. And so each one of us has power within us. And we have the ability to partner with others. And we're going to talk today about the power of partnering. So partnerships and a partner. Who has ever partnered with anybody on anything ever? Hands to camera if you've ever partnered with anybody on anything. Like, do you remember the first time, or remember an early time where you were partnering with somebody? Maybe you were in the playground and somebody was picking on somebody else, or somebody was picking on you, or you decided, hey, let's go do this together. Let's go and play a game. Let's work together towards the same end result, the same idea, the same principle. Hands to camera if you felt a little more powerful when that other person agreed. In that moment where they said, yes, awesome. When you're out with your friends, or you're out with your tribe, or you're with your community, or you're out with your business partners, if you have them, or you're out with your spouse, don't you feel a little more powerful when you're out with somebody who you know has your back? Hands to camera if you felt that as well. That's a power. That's the power of partnership. It's just a little tapping into it. Now, the power of partnerships goes way beyond just that feeling that you get, that ooh, something could happen at any moment. If somebody jumped in here, we'd handle it. Who's been out to a scenario where it was a little bit of a risky space, a risky, dangerous place? Anybody ever been to one of those risky places? Think about that for a moment. You've been there and you've been with one of your friends, and that thought comes across your mind like, if shit goes down, I know they got my back, and whoever messes with us is about to get messed up. Has anybody ever felt that moment? It was like actually a dangerous scenario, but you also realized you were actually the dangerous one in the room. Has anybody ever felt that before? Because you had your partner there, you had somebody who had your back. Yes, I feel this way anytime I go out with my brother, because my brother is a lethal weapon. He's literally a trained lethal weapon. Or Ron Bowling is like a lethal weapon in the internet space. I always feel like when I have my business partners around, life partner Darina, you should see Darina. Man, if somebody messes with this woman, messes with me, she's like, no, sorry, Gualter's calendar does not look like that. You don't belong there. Off the calendar, like in a second. I've got so much respect for the people that are close to me in my life. And without my partners, I wouldn't be where I am today. And that's fair to say for everybody on this call. Anybody have a partner who's really changed their lives? Hands down if you had a partner who's really changed your life at some point. Excellent. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How to get more of that. Last week, we talked about affiliate partnerships. We talked about strategic partnerships. Today on alchemistnation.com, this morning around 12 midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, I dropped a post about 12 steps to becoming a millionaire. The 12 steps, how you could do it, how you could get there. And at the bottom of the post, I said, this is a way to become a millionaire. But in today's 52 Weeks to Wealth, I'm going to talk about an even faster, even easier, quicker, shorter path to becoming a millionaire. Who's heard me say 3 to 5 years to become a millionaire? Who's heard me say that? All right. Well, we're going to talk about the fastest, the highest leverage, the quickest way to become a millionaire today. Now, this is hot stuff. This is the stuff that could change lives. It's also stuff that could be completely missed because the subconscious mind doesn't want to change. The subconscious mind is designed to stay right where it's been, operating the way you've always operated, so you can stay safe. Remember, the subconscious mind was not designed to make you rich. It was designed to keep you right where you're at so you don't get eaten by a lion. And it will keep you where you are so that you stay safe and you don't grow, because growth is dangerous, because wherever growth happens, change could happen, and change is, scary to the subconscious mind. So we can't trust it to remember the things that we're learning today. So it may make sense, perceived intelligence, to write it down. Leverage what we as human beings, what separates us from the animals, that we can store our knowledge on external sources of memory, substrate, like pieces of paper. So why is this wealth principle better than all the rest? Why is, in fact, this wealth principle almost dead center to the 52 weeks? Wealth principle 26 is a powerful principle because it is the center of our whole program. And then wealth principle 27, again, is a lock it in, kind of double down. But wealth principle 23 leads into this powerful month of really solidifying what you've been doing and giving you the tools that previously were unavailable. Because if I started off with partnerships, you probably wouldn't have done it. Hands care, if you understand, we have to learn things in certain orders to take action on them. Let's say you want to become a millionaire and you want to do it in 30 days. So you didn't have a lot of time, but you knew you had a product, you had something you could sell. Who here has a product, has a way to make money, has something they could sell to others? Yes? Excellent. And I want you to do an exercise with me, because we do exercise every single week, because here's what I also discovered about the subconscious mind. It will remember a very small portion of what it hears. It will remember even less of what it reads, but it will retain a large majority. 80% is retained when it takes action, when it goes out and does something, when you're forcing it into doing something. And so I'm going to ask you this week is to write down an activity that you're going to take action on, either during, right after, or throughout the rest of the week, to really dial it in. Hands to camera if you're down to do an exercise again this week. Another exercise, another principle. Let's give Luba a round of applause. She's going out to the next conference. Get it? She's going to Airbnb this week. Now, this principle gets tied into a powerful exercise. Hands to camera if you're willing to do this morally, ethically, and legally, and you know this is some dangerous stuff that I'm about to give you. Yes? I started this off with a powerful spell, the spell of you are, which can be used on other people, and the spell of I am, which can be used within, on yourself. This is some real alchemy. The power of partnerships. In order to make $1 million in 30 days, let's say you had a product. Let me talk about one of my favorite products. We got the 100 Millionaire Summit coming up. Hands to camera if you know you're going to be at the 100 Millionaire Summit this year. so that you can hang with 100 millionaires in the room. There'll be more than 100 millionaires in the room with us, but there's going to be over 100 millionaires. Who knows that they're there to meet other people who they could potentially partner with. Excellent. If you didn't know, now you know. The whole point in the 100 Millionaire Summit is to find the money, find the deals, find the labor, the people who will go and do the work for you, because those are the three components to building wealth: deals, money, and labor. Or another way to put that for entrepreneurs is a business model, somebody who do all the work, and the capital to buy all the equipment and buy the advertising. 30 days to make $1 million. Let's say I sell tickets to the 100 Millionaire Summit. I sell my executive tickets, my favorite tickets, because those tickets come with not one, but two tickets to the 100 Millionaire Summit in the executive seats with some VIP stuff, but not all the VIP stuff, some cool swag like these shirts and a book, but also comes with a membership to the mentorship. Who knows, you need a mentor to get to the next level if you want to get there fast. I like cheat codes in life. I like hacks. So I use mentors to get me to the next level. A lot of people met my mentor this week, one of my many mentors. And it was a lot of cool fun in Boston. And we're going to not just give one mentorship to the person who buys the executive tickets. We're going to give two mentorship memberships. Now, the mentorship is designed to help you learn the habits and get into, in 8 weeks, a powerful 8 weeks, into the mindset of success and abundance. Who's been through the mentorship already and has had a phenomenal increase in success? Hands to the camera if that's been true for you. You need 2 hands if you've been in more than one time. All right. So give yourselves a round of applause. So that's one of my favorite products. It's $1,500. The mentorship is worth $2,000. So there's 2 of them in there. That's $4,000. The executive tickets are $1,500, but they're actually worth $3,000. We priced them right now at $1,500. So you're getting 2 of those. So that's a $6,000 value plus a $4,000 value. That's a $10,000 value for $1,500. Hands care if you understand why that's my favorite product right now. It's the game changer, right? For anybody who's not been a part of our community, for anybody who is a part of our community, because you get to bring somebody along with you. Anyway, I love that product. So that's my product, $1,500 product. Hands care if we can do the math on this. It's going to be a fun one. Excellent. I'm going to simplify it, because I don't just sell that product myself. I use affiliates to sell that product. And so I only make $750 while my affiliate makes $750. Is that fair that I pay my salespeople amazing amounts of money? Excellent. This topic could work for you too if you chose to move this path. Now, $750 every time I sell. It's not $1 million. Hence, can't you recognize? We already did the math. It's not $1 million. It's far from it, right? But if you multiplied that times 1,000, you now have $750,000. And if you added 1,250, you now have $1 million. So you'd have to sell that product to 1,250 people. Hence, camera, if you know that math is true. That is only true if I wasn't going to sell something at the event. I'm going to sell a program called Mastery. Who knows about Mastery? Who's heard about Alchemist Mastery? Who has bought into Alchemist Mastery or watched other people buy into Alchemist Mastery and seen them skyrocket, do amazing, do well? Well, that program will also be sold. The people who sold tickets to the event will also be gaining a little bit of money from the tickets sold at the event. So if somebody buys into Mastery, which is a $25,000 program, we're giving our affiliates $2,500. Now, I know the math on that product is 10%. So 10% of everybody who's in the room will end up buying the program. On the low side, last year was 26%. Hands to camera, if you know I'm a really good salesperson. Has nothing to do with me being a great salesperson. It's just an amazing product. You want to be an amazing salesperson? And if you're looking, by the way, if you're looking for partners who are amazing salespeople, create an undeniably great product, a no-brainer product, something that gives a 10x return to whoever can purchase it. Does that make sense? It's not about being a great salesperson. It's really about having a great product. That's how you sell to a 25% return on cash on cash, or 25% conversion rate. Now, this strategy probably only have to sell about that 1,000 that I went on with originally because of the amount that the other one makes. See how you can add a product later on once you've built a relationship with somebody. We're catching this in business. It's not just first money. There's always second money, third money, fourth money. There are a lot of ways that we monetize. I'm a great partner because I like paying affiliate fees. I love paying. You brought them in. Cool. We got a deep relationship for a long time. I'll make residual money your thing, right? With Alchemist Connect, that's now another $25 a month when somebody signs up for the affiliate program. So somebody came in because of you, they signed up, they bought something, they bought something else. So think about this. Can your product pay your partners for a long period of time? Write this down. That is a question to be asking yourself all the time as you're looking for partners. Do I charge enough? Do I deliver enough value where I can make somebody else rich? And if you can't, we got some work to do. We want to make sure that we're doing and constantly improving our products and our offerings. Very powerful question. Write that down. Can I, with my products, make somebody else rich? Can I allow somebody else in? If I want to sell 1,000 tickets to an event like the summit, all it would take is one partner, one very powerful partnership. That would be somebody who has an audience of 10,000 people, because again, 10% conversion. And with that one relationship, that one person, one conversation, that deep commitment, hey, I'm going to make you half of everything I make. Is that okay? And Scam, if you know really good partners don't mind splitting, it's quite all right. And yes, there are other ways to partner. In real estate, we talk about it all the time, the 33, 33, 33. If you brought the deal, you're generally owed 33%. But if you don't have enough confidence to negotiate yourself, you could get 10% for bringing a deal, or 7% for bringing a deal, or you could get 50% for bringing a deal. It really depends on your confidence level and your negotiation skills and the position of your partners that you're bringing into these deals. So there are multiple different avenues where you could say, okay, I'm getting this percentage, I'm getting this percentage. In syndication, there are two very popular models. There's a 70% and 30%, where the general partners will take 30% of the deal and the limited partners will get 70% of the deal. But I've also seen syndicators, GPs, who'll take 50% of the deal for finding the deal and managing the deal. Hands to the camera if you know. It's all about your confidence in what your partners are looking for, what they're willing to join in on. So with this particular scenario, in 30 days, if I found a man or woman or a series of influencers who had that size audience, and I was able to find enough value in the room between them and myself and say, hey, look, this is a thing that I'm doing to build millionaires. Can you get behind building 100 millionaires? By the way, if they say yes, we're already friends. I don't even care if we can do something beyond that. But if they say yes, and they have, let's say, 1,000 true followers who buy everything that they sell, then it would make sense for us to jump on a call and do an event together and sell and offer an opportunity to move to that event. That would be 100 people showing at the 100 Millionaire Summit. When we bring people into the summit, we build them into millionaires. It takes 3 to 5 years. That's our process, right? Great program, great process. But all it takes for you to make $1 million in 30 days is to go and find that person and have that conversation, and you're both making $500,000. Does that make sense? If they only bring 1,000 people to an event that sells 10% of the room, 100%. Now, this strategy, a lot of times we ignore it because it seems too big in our own worlds, in our own lives. But hands to camera, for a moment, you could see how it'd be very easy for me to do, or even if it's not possible for you. Hands to camera, if you see it's easy for me to do. Excellent. So let's just pretend that this scenario exists in your world for your product right now. This is something called the Dream 100. And the Dream 100 is a book that we don't put Alchemist Nation because it's a $100 book. And so we want to keep our people down to a pretty reasonable value. But we do have a book of the week. That is an extremely important and powerful book. I'll talk about it in just a little bit. I'm going to bring Mike in because I see Mike's actually, he and Mike are at an event right now for Rock Your Life. It's for coaches, speakers who are looking to learn more about marketing. And me and Mike are both here with you guys, just like we are every week, to support you instead of being in that room right now. Hands to camera, if you know that's a lot of value. Let's give Mike Shine a big round of applause for hanging out with us too. When you're looking for a partner, there are 6 steps. There are 6 very key core principles. And Mike Shine put those into a course on Alchemist University a few months back. He's writing his book right now. His book is actually finished. By the way, let's give Mike Shine one more round of applause for completing his book. The cover is being designed right now. Me and Jen are actually designing the cover, and we're going to be posting it to Alchemist Nation. We're going to be posting it to Amazon, getting it published, getting it ready to go within the next 30 days. But because we didn't have it in time for the Power of Partnerships, I'm just going to talk about it. Is that okay? If I talk about the 6 steps that are in the book, would that be valuable to everybody on the call? Show me your hands if you want to know the 6 steps. Excellent. In which case, as you wish, your wish is my command. And I'll share them on the screen as I go into them myself. And this is, if you're new to the community, you can go to alchemistnation.com. You have access to these courses for free. This is a service that our millionaires have done for you. Part of the mission is to build 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires, because we believe that millionaires, life's just way more fun when you have a lot of money. But also you can create causes, you can change your community, you can serve your family better. So you want to come into the Power of Partnerships by Michael Shine. And these are the 6 steps. In fact, communication. So step 1 is you must communicate with your partners. And if you don't communicate with your partners, you don't actually have a partnership. Hence the camera, if you recognize communication is key. Now, my view is going to be a little different from your view because, well, I run the platform. But once you get in here, Mike's created a really cool video with some lessons on how to do this. Answer the camera if you know you could use a partner in your life right now, that if you had a partner, you'd be doing a lot more deals. And if you don't believe that, my business partner, Ron Bowling, is on the call. He's my longest business partner. I think he and I have been together for almost 7 years. So we got the 7-year itch coming up. And that itch just says buy more businesses for us. It says, let's double down. Let's go bigger. Let's do more. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Ron. I know I wouldn't. I know for sure I wouldn't. I'd probably still be in Las Vegas. I'd be having some fun out there, probably not doing calls or coaching with people. I'd probably be running a real estate team, just a bunch of agents running around saying, hey, you want to sell your house? Hey, you want to buy a house? That is definitely not who I am today because of the conversations that I've had with my partner around what makes the world a better place. What are the problems in the world? And we recognize that ignorance is one of them. And if it wasn't for Ron, he brought $150,000 of capital to our company early on, where $150,000 of capital actually meant something to us. Right now, we play with millions of dollars. We're doing a refinance that is looking at like $1.4 million of cash. We're selling $1.5 million in real estate, where I think we get to keep about $750,000 of that. So those numbers to us are now about average. They seem like a decent sized, normal sized deal to us. But when we started, like coming up with 25,000, like we're buying houses with down payments of $25,000. Who knows, like 150 is a game changer. That's quite a bit. And when you're just doing 25,000, right? So when he and I partnered, there were a lot of things that he and I had to communicate. We weren't sure how to do this. We'd never done it before. I always said partners are for dancing, which is embarrassing to me now, as I teach about the power of partnerships. But this is where I was. This was who I was raised to be, was don't trust other people, right? Keep it tight, keep it close, because other people could screw you. Other people could take the money and run. Other people are going to let you down. Nobody's going to work as hard as you. Who's heard all this bullshit? Yes. Who said some of it accidentally, not knowing? Is anybody? Yes, I am so embarrassed because I've been coaching and training and teaching for years. I used to say partners are for dancing. Live. I've said it over in front of over 5,000 real estate agents across the country. This was one of the things I used to say, and it embarrasses, it disappoints me. But what I will say is I'm going to teach you that, partnerships are really powerful with the right tools. And that's what Mike laid out in this course. Communication is key. Now you must be clear on your goals. Step 2, you must be clear on your goals with your partner. If you and your partner want different things, perfect partnership is me and Dorina. Very early in the relationship, like day 1, I was like, I'm going to build 100. No, it wasn't. I didn't say that yet. That was something she and I grew up together. She was there building the 100 millionaires concept. I said, I am going to change the world. I am going to make a ding in the universe. And I'm going to, I really was following the whole model of Apple. It's like, I want to change something so big that I can prove that this stuff works. All the stuff that I've been taught, all the stuff that's been put into me, all of the coaching I've spent money on, all the books I've read, over 400 books, 150,000 coaches all across the country, all these events I've been to. I told us, like, I've got to prove that this stuff works. Otherwise, I don't know why I'm here. Like, I got to go help people become wealthy, because there was a moment where I wasn't wealthy, where I was going through a divorce, where I was scared, where I was alone. And I was terrified that I wasn't going to, be able to do the things that I want to do as a man. I was seriously considering taking my life. Hence, if you've heard that story before or felt, there before, you felt like, man, like I got nowhere else to turn. Like, things just have to work. And in that moment, I said, I'm going to learn how money works. And when I do, I'm going to teach as many people as I possibly can. I shared this with Dorina. Early in that partnership, I set a very clear goal. I said, whatever it takes, I'm going to continue teaching. I'm going to learn, I'm going to teach, and I'm going to grow. And every day, like, I will change. Every year I will change. If you are dating me because of the way I am today, then it's not going to work. You have to date me for who I'm becoming and where I'm going and what I'm building and the people I'm surrounding myself with, because that's what you're buying when you invest in this. You're not investing in who I am today. You're investing in who I'm going to be in the future. Does that make sense? Regress that clear goal, very clear intention of where I was going. Be willing to have and embrace that communication with your partners. It will help you and it will help them with clarity on where you're going. If goals change, the partnership can fall apart. These are things I've learned from Mike Shine, right? As Mike is, he and I worked on that book together with Jen's pen, and we were going through the process of what are the 6 steps to great partnerships. Step 3 is morning rituals and clear goals. So you must have routines and rituals. Actually, that's actually a video, but I don't think that was one of the steps, was it, Mike? It wasn't one of the steps. Let me dive into that one a little deeper. Went into affirmations. All right. So you're gonna have to go and read the book for his 3rd step. Jen, do you have it? Do you have it in front of you? While waiting for 3, I'm going to go into 4, long-term commitments. Long-term commitments are the basis for a partnership. If you did not want to be doing something with somebody, you don't need to partner. You could strategic partner. You could be an affiliate. But when you think about partnership, you're talking about, it's like marriage. You're talking about very long-term stuff. We're going to do this for 3 years. We're going to do it for 5 years, doing it 7 years, 10 years. This is long-term, especially in real estate. We're not, the market could turn, which, looks like it's in the middle of a turn, which, by the way, that doesn't mean it's crashing today. It's in the middle of a turn, a very long turn, a turn that could take 18 months. But in that turn, you may not be able to sell the properties that you were thinking about selling. You may not be able to flip deals that you thought you were going to flip. It may make sense to rent them out. You may have to find different strategies to get the cash flow because you didn't buy it right, or you're too highly leveraged, or your debt is too high. Maybe you're at 12% interest right now. Ron and I, during a while back, during COVID, we were in 12% interest on $2.5 million. Interest only payments, $25,000 a month. Can't scare if you know that. That's a portfolio that's really got to have something special to cash flow. And we found a way. We had to find creative ways to pull more cash out of that portfolio. And we had to go and get creative. We had to raise capital. We borrowed more money just to pay the debt that we had just to survive. You have to get a little more creative during times when the system changes. So you may think it's going to be a quick hold or a flip, and it turns into 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. So these are long-term relationships, and you have to be thinking long-term. So getting over yourself, being able to be humble with your partner. It's not all about you. I said this, I started this call earlier with selfishness. So many people are broke because they're selfish. They're focused on them. They're focused on what they want and what they want to do and how they feel. Who's ever been really upset because somebody didn't understand how they felt? Has anybody ever experienced that? Has anybody heard somebody else say that? Like, you don't understand, how I feel. Yes, they're being selfish in that moment. We should pay attention to them. Yes, we should serve them and listen and be involved. But any moment where somebody is being selfish is a moment where they're cutting themselves off from the universe, where they're saying, nope, I don't actually want anything. Please keep it away from me. Because people are attracted to people who are selfless, people who are giving, who are thinking about others, who are serving and supporting. Now, you do have to, think about yourself and your goals at some point. But when you're interacting with others, being selfless is going to get you a whole lot further. When you're giving before asking for something, when you're sharing valuable information, valuable resources, valuable relationships with others, valuable experiences, those moments are where opportunity is created. When you're sharing first, when you're giving first, when you're being selfless. And sometimes winning the fight in a partnership is not as important as keeping the partnership together. And that's where we're being humble and, forgetting yourself. This conversation, your opinion on this is more important to me. The relationship is more important to me than figuring out right now who's right or wrong here. And it is possible that we're both right. And it's also possible that we're both wrong. And one of my favorite sentences, my cheat code for being humble in a partnership is, I've been wrong before. You might be right. I've been wrong before. I genuinely do believe I have been wrong in the past. It doesn't mean I think I'm wrong right now, but it does mean that I may have to go do some research before I get to win this argument, or I may have to go do some research before I identify that you were right in this argument. And I'm thankful that you were energetic enough to keep me going, to make me realize that there's a new truth that I wasn't aware of. Hence, care if you're either right or you're about to learn. If you live life that way, you'll always be right. And you should fight for what you believe in, but you should also fight harder for truth. I love to see a person's side and fight for them and their side, even if it's not what I agree with. Hey, okay, let's go look into this. Complementary strengths in partnerships. This is where the real money comes in. Me and Mike have opposite strengths. We have some similar strengths. Me and Ron have opposite strengths, right? Mike has his law practice, law degree. He's passed the bar. I don't have that, but I have a large community. I'm really good at marketing. So when Alchemist Title was formed, it was based on his ability, his team, his staff, his knowledge, his skills, his experience, and his licensing, so that we can serve more people via closings because of the marketing, the funnel, the amount of people we're bringing in who are real estate investors. Jen's pen, it was the same idea. She had a skill, a talent, and we had the ability to draw in people, to identify who might need our service. And I had the ability to close people on a really great product. And so Jen and I said, let's do this together. Let's build more millionaires. We help more people who help people help more people. So building 100 millionaires through helping them write their books. When Ron and I got together, it was, let's just buy a bunch of real estate. Ask Cameron if the business plan can be that simple. Right? His strength was that he was stable, consistent, organized. My strength was I was a heavy punch. I could go out there. I was the machine gun, right? Point me in the direction and I will kill whatever's in front of me. So raise capital, find deals, find contractors, whatever was needed in the business, you put me in place. You don't want to put me in place to manage the properties for a long period of time because I get bored and I can get destructive. But if you put me out into the battlefield, man, I'm like a general out on the battlefield. I can close and do big things. Hence, Karen, if you know you need somebody at home, keeping things stable, making sure you're holding it down while you're out there on the battlefield, taking action, making moves, right? Bringing in the big players, making those big calls, right? Those are equal partners. Those are equal values. Can they be replaced? Either one of us could be replaced at any moment. It would just be a lot of work. It would be a lot of training, and they have to find the right people. And as you scale your company, the goal is to always replace your partners, right? You want to be replacing each other so that they can become a little more passive, do higher level stuff. I pull Ron back out of businesses and out of strategies and tactics and responsibilities all the time because he has a complementary strength to mine, which is he can automate and he can systematize things. He's already automated and systematized our property management business. Now we've shifted him into Alchemist Nation, into Alchemist Connect, the CRM that we built with Mark Dozwa. So that another business partner, right? Somebody who had a lot more technical skills, saw a product, said, man, I think that the community could use this. Ron and I said, sign us up because we've sold and built CRMs in the past and used them for real estate agents. Now we have one that we can use for entrepreneurs, one we can use for coaches, and one we can use for real estate investors. And obviously agents are one of all of those things. So we built a CRM with a partner who was willing to do all the work, called customer service, make sure that everybody was okay, and continue development as things change with the platform. Alchemist Financial, right? Frank knew a lot about mortgages. He was willing to go out and do those things and leveraged our marketing abilities. Ryan McDermott, as we build Alchemist Insurance, so that we can support investors with better quality insurance, better products, better services. Hands Cam, if you're catching this, if you're catching that, having complementary strengths. Me and Ron's one strength, our big thing, is we're very organized. We're great marketers. We're really good salespeople. Like he and I can close just about anything between the two of us. All of the other partnerships are the technical integration of the product itself. We're catching how this works out in our world. Last one, co-working skills and assets. Sometimes you partner because the other person has money, has access to people, have access to resources, has certain skills that you require. That's part of what we're just talking about, complementary strengths. Those other components could be so valuable to you that you need them in your life. So to finish up this exercise, I want you to write down the person. Let's focus on one person, the person who has had the biggest impact in your life, the person who's had the biggest impact, since we're talking about money, in your career, made you the most money, has brought the most deals to you, has done the most work for you, profited the most off of that relationship. Write that person's name down. And if you have to validate, if you got multiple people, just write down who, like go back and say who I made the most money with, right? What is the relationship that has made me the most money? And this could be somebody who has been a client of yours. They may not be as obvious. They may be a client. They may be a strategic partner. Could be an affiliate. They could be a competitor. They could be a competitor who's been sending you business, or who you've been learning from, or who you've been admiring and following their process and creating similar systems. There's a lot of different ways that money has flown to you. And I want you to think about this as you're thinking about this person. Write their name down. And I want you to write down underneath their name, what can I do to become a partner in their business? What room can I make for them to become a partner in my business? What room can I make for them? Or what room do they already have available that I could likely open up for myself, have a conversation with, and insert and put myself into their space, into their business, and become a partner so that we can both grow together, so we can both level up what we're already doing. But instead of 1 + 1 being 2, 1 + 1 can be 11, and we can go all the way to the top, right? I say it all the time. There's plenty of room at the top. I'll see you at the summit. So the idea is identify your strengths. What makes you a great partner? And Mike's book talks a lot about this. Identify your strengths, what makes you a great partner, but also identify all your weaknesses. And your weaknesses are what's going to make your partner great and your business be able to explode. In fact, that leads me right to the book of the week, which I know Mike doesn't have it with him, but Mike has read the book and he can still do the book of the week. Who's got the book, Rock Fuel, anywhere near them in their office? Awesome. Mike Shine, the holistic attorney, the closer, the keeper of the books. Let's give Mike a round of applause.
Hey, Gualter, I hope this sounds okay in the hotel room. Can you hear me? Everybody thumbs up, thumbs up. Cool. All right. So it's not too often that I recommend another book before you read the book of the week. But in this case, even though I absolutely love this book, I would suggest if somebody's starting out that they read first The E-Myth Revisited, and then after that, read Traction, and then after that, read this book, because Rocket Fuel really doubles down on the relationship between the visionary and the integrator. And that's why Gualter and I picked it for the partnership week. It's a really valuable lesson to be able to watch Gualter and Ron work together. It's like a lesson in rocket fuel. It's an amazing relationship. Gualter talks about it almost every week. They meet on Mondays, they meet on Fridays, and Gualter's just a visionary, as we all know. And Ron is just an amazing integrator. It just blows my mind when Gualter opens up the fire hose and just sprays a new idea, and Ron can take it, digest it. Obviously, there's help. Doreena's around now. There's Amy and Andrew, but Ron's been there from the beginning. That's what I think of rocket fuel. That's what I think of. I think of an amazing visionary with an amazing integrator and how they work together. In my life, obviously, partnerships, I throw a bunch of stuff at Brenda and she just handles it as an integrator. I don't know if she always wants to be the integrator, but she does an amazing job. Same with Ken, also with my partner, Jim Bryden. But this book can really help you nail down that subject and how that partnership works. So it's a really great book. Start with the E-Myth, go to Traction, and then go to this book. And oh my God, your business will take off. So amazing book, and great to see you all from Dallas. Sweet. Peace.
Let's give Michael Shine a round of applause. The book of the week is a challenge. It's an opportunity for you to read one book every week because there are 52 weeks in the year. That means at the end of the year, you have read 52 books, which puts you at a 52-to-1 advantage over the average person who only reads one book a week. And most never get past chapter 1. So give yourselves a round of applause if you've been reading one book a week with us. I know everybody in the mentorship, which if you're seeing their cameras open right now, these are people who are in our community in the Alchemist mentorship program. They have paid money. I know it sounds crazy. They paid money to get to the next level a little bit faster and have a deeper relationship with us and the other millionaire coaches. That's okay. For everybody who is still out in the attendees area, we're going to pull you in just a minute. I wanted to just clean this all of this up with, in your business, that partner you just wrote down. If you are the integrator, if you are the person who's built a really good business, a really good product, you're really great at doing the doing, like Michael Gerber talks about in the E-Myth. Great call, Mike. The do it stuff. Then you might be looking for a marketer or a salesperson or a series of salespeople, maybe a team leader of salespeople, a sales manager. It is possible that that is the partnership that you're looking for. If you are the salesperson, the greatest salesperson on the planet, a great marketer, an influencer with millions of followers, then you might just be missing the product. You might just be missing the person who can deliver on the product. Or as Ron and I have identified, a series of products, because here's one more tip that I wasn't intending to talk about today. This is really more of a marketing thing, but the person who can spend the most money per client, the person who earns the most per client can spend the most money to acquire the next client, which means you win in the marketplace. The person who can earn the most per client is able to spend more to acquire the next client, which means you win in the game of marketing. And the way we've done that is we have a great audience who buys real estate, and then we get monetized on every step of the way, every step of what they're already going to buy anyway. Hands camp, if that makes sense. Anybody who's buying real estate needs insurance. They need a closing attorney. They need lending. They need a real estate agent. They need a little bit of coaching to get there. And so we've just built a little system that allows us to, through our strategic partners and through our partnerships, to make money off of every single step along the way. If you don't have an audience, you might be one of those steps. You might be one of those processes. I'm going to put this challenge out to everybody. The person who has the biggest audience makes the most money if done right. But the next step, partner-wise, is if you can connect and add value to the person with the biggest audience, you could be making just as much money or close to it. Hence, Camp recognize and see the value of partnerships right now. We're seeing that we could, in 30 days, completely change our lives by simply either taking our product and dropping it into the jet stream or adding a product to our existing jet stream. If you've already got a ton of followers, you got a ton of people in your network, you got a big database, then now it's time to drop a product in that could pick up additional income. If you don't have a database, then you might want to find somebody with a big database. Hence, Camp for catching this. We understand where our role is. Who knows immediately where their role is? Right now knows exactly where you're at. You know, you're either the database or you're the product. Yes? Excellent.